Nilati ina ibasho sevasanate. Ina itava sovashonomela liamalorake liatase. Inami inamaleato ivaru ne inamilakateveshi shanasete. Imate savaso ni ina ananamala kopale terevesho. Mitora iana isavaso sivashanate. Matore shese si malandaroku. Matore anda hiefasho se liata. Ni maleando comboria se semaniana malakotevesho. Matoriana tiako piashana se tiatukuya. Yasha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu al Noarei Shabbos.
Isato veshe timata iriana kiavasha sevato. Imaniana wa liato kiasha se samoniara kiatoreshe kiata ila kisunose tiamana. Niatohe. Good day, good love, and good light, illuminators and way showers. Thank you, thank you. It is in divine grace, gratitude, and honor that we today honor goddesses on Goddess Friday. The goddess energy to illuminate this God and goddess energy within all of us, to remind us all that we are gods, goddesses, that we create our own reality by how we think, how we believe, and what we believe is possible for ourselves. That our intention with these Fridays is to honor the goddesses, the ancient ones, and all of that within us now, to remind us of our multidimensionality, to remind us that we are the soul families of these gods and goddesses, that we are also discovering the God and goddess within us, that we are rebalancing this beautiful light on earth, this balance of the divine feminine and masculine, that we are in this new age where we are discovering the value of connecting to all the facets that we are, including all of these aspects of us. And we have discovered that all of us, using objects, relics, artifacts, how many of us like the idea of finding treasures, of going to understand the mysteries of all that is, and to share this knowledge? There's so much we don't understand yet. And so it was a combination of connecting with our multidimensionality, of raising the frequency of the human collective consciousness by connecting and honoring the God and goddess within us, the multidimensionality within us, the aspects of all that we are, and inviting the energy of the relics and the dress of the time, if you will, of activating that within us. And we all know whether we go to work or we go to a party, when we dress a certain way, we become the energy and embody that idea. And so over the decades, we've understood how the dress has changed. And so all of this, along with the archetypes, animal guides, connecting with our spirit families, our soul families, gathering in a high frequency dimension, bringing in the light languages that embody these gods and goddesses, and remembering that part of the reason we are all becoming light language linguists, understanding, speaking it, hand signing it, singing it, is because we're all raising our frequency, because we are connecting to the divinity within us. We are connecting to the God and the angels within us. We're connecting to the higher aspects of all that we are. And this whole Goddess Friday was born, if you guys missed the trailer, and last week's webinar, we explained a little bit about how Goddess Friday was born. It is a thing. It is an ancient way of honoring the divine goddesses, and to bring and embody that energy within us and within all of us. And so there's a lot of things to celebrate today. So one of which was I was going to talk a little bit again about Goddess Friday. I'll have maybe Dave talk about that a little bit. And also today I wanted to honor Goddess Diana, and also known as Artemis. And I wanted to wish everyone a beautiful new spring, happy spring in the Northern Hemisphere, happy autumn in the Southern Hemisphere. It is a time of cycles. It is a time of change, of great change all over the globe as we know it. And Goddess Diana is the goddess of the hunt. And not that she was a huntress necessarily, but that she was the guide for the hunters. And I have this beautiful bow behind me, which if we want to talk about relics, and it's got the spiral on here. And actually I'll have to have Dave, it was a gift from Dave, and I'll have to have him tell you a little bit about the origin of it, but I've also got my quiver. So in honor of her and the feathers, and also I've got my moonstone today. So I wanted to incorporate, that's another thing that we wanted to talk about in these Fridays is all of those things, the connecting to the crystals of the earth. Why do we use them? How do we use them? Why are they powerful? How do they change? I'm hearing even the molecular structure of who we are when we connect and talk to these crystals. And there's crystals all over. We've been discovering a lot of things about multifaceted cuts of crystals, which actually I didn't think about till just now. So actually we should probably talk about that at some point, maybe not today, but the power in even the cut of crystals. We've been discovering that a lot. So I wanted to, Diana is also the goddess of the moon. So I wanted to utilize my moonstone today. So I was guided to talk about the moonstone as well, because it also has beautiful energies and features. And so I felt it was very appropriate. So I wanted to also open this up today to blessings, of course, for the beginning of spring, this beginning of changes. And of course, there were some channeled messages that were coming through from my guides today that I'm not sure what and how they will share this information. But of course, with looking at things from a much different, higher dimensional and perspective, we're able to see the things that are happening. They were showing me today that what's happening globally is the beginning of a brand new cycle of how we communicate with each other. And it was they were very specific about how we can be looking at this whole situation in a completely new light. And so I'm getting those feelings that I get when they're like, yeah, this is something we want to talk about today. And I think we would be remiss in just ignoring what's going on. But again, we don't want to feed energy into something in a fear-based mentality and a fear-based energy. And so we have to be very mindful about how we approach and what we think about and what we believe about these situations, and how we know that as gods and goddesses, how we can create the reality that we desire. And this is a perfect example of how we can do that. So first of all, too, I'd like to say thank you to Dave for lighting the menorah for us today. This is also the celebration of light, of Sabbath, and Kiddush. And so would you like to speak about that just a little bit, about how that ties into maybe what we're doing in light languages? And actually it is, Hanukkah is the festival of lights. So all of this really ties into the idea of beginnings of language, light language, Hebrew, the Bible, all of this. It's all tied into everything. So anything you want to talk about?
Well, sure. Of course, we're going to talk more about incense.
That
the
too.
idea of the smoke of the incense rising up like light. And the menorah that we use today was a copy of what was believed to be the temple menorah in the Jewish temple times. And so they light the menorah to have a flame burning all the time. And of course, for Goddess Friday, we light the menorah to celebrate and honor the goddess, and to also usher in the Sabbath, which is typically in the Jewish religion on Saturday. But also as it also ties in, you could look up Goddess Diana on the internet, but I did find one interesting story that talks about Diana. And I just want to read that because it also has to do with the light. Diana was the first created before all creation. In her were all things. Out of herself, the first darkness, she divided herself into darkness and light. She was divided. Dianus, her brother and son, herself, and her other half was the light. And when Diana saw that the light was so beautiful, the light which was her other half, her brother Dianus, she yearned for it with exceeding great desire, wishing to receive the light again into her darkness, to swallow it up in rapture, in delight. She trembled with desire. The desire was the dawn. But Dianus, the light, fled from her and would not yield to her wishes. He was the light which flies into the most distant parts of heaven, the mouse which flies before the cat. So it goes on, but the idea, of course, is associating the goddess Diana and the light, and how that exemplifies the idea of lighting a candle, lighting the menorah, actually using actual light to represent the light that's within us all.
And that really is from the very beginning. And I wanted to, maybe I need to digress just a little bit. And I wanted to thank all of you. Hi, Will. Hi, AJ. Thank you for being here today. Thank you all for watching today. And now, whenever your now is, I invite all of you to join us. My name is Wendy, and my channel here is Languages of Lights. As you know, I have on my website, languagesoflights.com. You can find the Zoom link to hop in and hang out with us. You don't need to dress up. It's just something we invite people to do to help really generate and embody the energy. Not necessary, but what we also invite all of you to do is bring crystals, bring your goddess oracle cards, your animal guide oracle cards, and bring messages from your collective, from your team, from all of our spirit guides for the collective. And that's what this is all about too, bringing information through the oracle cards, bringing information through crystals. How do all of these, what we call permission slips, and these relics and artifacts, how do we use all of these things as permission to be more of all that we are and to connect with all that we are? That's the point of all of this. So when people say, why are you guys doing this? Why would you, it's because it embodies this idea of the archetype within us that generates an energy that is not the same when you're not playing the part. Think about when you attend a play, a production, you expect there to be costumes and you become part of the remembering of that which you are, the remembering of these things when you touch them, when you look them up, and we talked about even the fun stuff, the artifacts about, from movies and television shows. I'm so excited. I've got, for all of you Doctor Who fans out there, I am now the proud owner of 3 of the TARDIS keys, and magic wands from Harry Potter. And what else do we got? I mean, so the TARDIS. I have the TARDIS, of course, that actually makes sounds and all that. And so all of these things play a huge part in activating the memories. When we say memories are all right now. Everything's right now. It's happening right now. So a memory is you remembering who you are right now, even though we call it ancient past, upline, downline, whatever you want to call it, but we remember who we are. We activate this within us, and it helps us accept. The word I've been hearing the last few days is accept. Accept where you are, who you are, what is happening. Accept that always we are in the perfect place at the perfect time that we have chosen for the perfect reasons. And yet when we look around us, we don't necessarily see that right now, today, or many times. And so part of these honoring the God and Goddess within us is to understand is I don't want it that way. I don't want that. I hear that a lot. I don't want that. So,
But we do identify what we want.
but we,
So
yes.
all the things that you see that you don't want are designed to help identify what you do want. And you should always say, and saying it out loud is the best way to do it, what you do want.
What you do want.
And it's sort of funny because I just brought up about your bow.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to mention
Yeah,
that.
please do.
So the bow is a replica of Princess Merida's bow from the Disney movie, of course, Disney, Brave. And it's an
Brave.
animated film. But what's interesting is it says that Merida was added to the Disney princess lineup as the 11th princess
11.
on May 11, 2013, which I think is also an 11.
Oh my gosh.
Of course, Wendy would have the 11 bow in Arabic.
That's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, yes. So there you have it. I didn't even see. The funny thing about a lot of this stuff is that like AJ and Dave will be telling me about these characters and these relics, and I've never even watched these movies, never seen them, because I never allowed myself to play and to interact with my child side and interact with my fun side and how we even as adults love Disney movies, and how we were just talking about how so many people, I had a friend of mine who I helped her decorate for her wedding, and all Disney themes. Every centerpiece was a different Disney movie, because we like to play. We like to remember who we are. We like to, these are our soul families reminding us, this is who you are. You're fairies and magicians and you're time lords. You guys control time by how you move through your universe. And so so I wanted to reiterate the fact that you guys don't need to dress up to come in. We just invite it because it's fun. And even as we mentioned before, even if it's just, I've got my feathers on, my headband, a necklace, anything that, if you want to bring your artifacts, bring your stuff from movies. If you want to talk about that stuff, this is all a part of the superhero within us. And how appropriate is it right now that we would be honoring Goddess Diana and having the bow from Brave? What are we being asked right now more than ever is to be brave. And when we say brave, it's about, bravery is about doing it scared. It's not about being not afraid. Bravery is about doing it scared. Aren't we all doing this scared right now? I know everybody is. And we were just talking about that, about how it's funny how even this, what we call this, the first time I saw, and this was before I even heard about the virus, if you will. And what I was seeing in my mind's eye was they were showing me in the pictures that I take, a lot of the corona around the sun and around the earth. And the first thing I heard was, when I heard about this idea, was all of a sudden I saw this bright light emanating, this corona completely enveloping the earth. And what I realized was, this is a, I want to say, and I'm hearing light-based, which I'm not, okay, so I'm hearing this. It's a light-based situation to raise the frequency of the human collective consciousness in a way that we're physically unable to do ourselves, yet have created a circumstance in which we all do in our own lives too. We create a circumstance in which the rubber band has to be pulled back very, 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 very far in order for it to fly forward. And if we are going to fly forward by thousands of years in our evolution, we had to create something pretty powerful. And I see this again and again. I am hearing, okay, we talk about this idea of not being able to touch each other. And what I heard this morning was, that's because you guys are supposed to be becoming telepathic. You are learning how to communicate with your eyes and your love without touching each other. When you can look at somebody, and I'm getting goosebumps, when you can convey something by just looking in someone's eyes and bring them to tears, I'm telling you, there is a difference. There is nothing like that kind of a communication that requires no touch at all. And I think this is a huge lesson for all of us, a message to all of us that we are learning how to communicate with each other differently from the heart. We are all, the thing with this situation, you guys, right now is the playing field has been leveled. We're all in the same boat, all of us, every country, everywhere, the entire globe, everywhere, everyone. And so can we see okay, talk about moms have to stay home now. There's no childcare. There's no schools open. Everything's changing, you guys. We're getting the idea. Time to change your education system. Time to change how you work. How much more effective can you be working from home and taking care of your family? How can we return this balance? We're not going backwards. We're doing this a new way. New. I am Speaker New. That is what this is about. And Speaker Odd over here, the illuminator and the, what did I say? The full spectrum bulb. That's what I said, the full spectrum bulb. So if we can see this as an illumination, a way to see and feel each other from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, and changing everything, absolutely everything. It's going to change how everything works. Look at okay. The other thing that they said to me was, why do you think your conventional antibacterial stuff doesn't work? Because this is energetic, you guys. It's energetic. It's only energetic. It is an energetic creation that gives us the option to decide what we want and what we do not. And it gives us the opportunity to connect with each other in a different way. And it's going to change everything. It's going to change our education system. It's going to change what we believe about our children, about how we approach medicine, how many people now are looking for alternatives to antibacterial by looking to the things from Earth. From Earth. They're going back to how many things are on Facebook now, you guys, are posting things on how to make your own stuff. It's been there all along, So can we see the shift here that's happening? Can we see the light that's glowing around the Earth and show that we are creating a higher vibrational version of Earth for those who choose to create that version and move to that version? And that we have to remember, we are gods and goddesses creating billions and billions of potential realities moment by moment by moment. We can't even wrap our minds around that. But yet we're taught we're remembering that that is what we understand as physics today, which is going to change as well. That will change. So all of these things are connected because all that is all that is. Everything that's ever been created, you exist, you always will, always and forever. Everything is here and now. What you put out is what you get back. We are, the one is the all, and the all are the one, and everything changes except those first four laws. Everything. So, anything you want to add to that? I'm shuffling my Queen of the Moon Oracle deck because today I wanted to celebrate Diana, the cycles, spring, the moon, the sun. I've got some archetype information here. I want to talk about the moonstone today. So I think what I'll do is while I'm shuffling and going through the cards, I wanted to see if there was anybody out there. Hi, Beverly. Just wanted to say hi to everybody. Hey, Temple. She says she can't be with you, but she's sending her love. That's Alicia Temple. Beautiful. Hey, girl. Love you, Beverly. So yeah, if you guys can hop in, the link to the Zoom room to come in is on my website in the blog, and we posted, Dave posted the blog link in the comments section here. So you guys are welcome to come in and hop in. And again, bring your stuff, bring your cards. And I'm actually shuffling the cards from the Moon Goddess deck right now. And actually I was reminded too, which I didn't bring with me. There was a something I was going to do that maybe I'll do that later. I wanted to start, actually, I was shuffling the moon goddess, but I was guided to begin, first of all, with our angels and ancestors deck, because I'm just kind of feeling that Earth Diana energy as well, and this idea of connecting with our angels and our ancestors, and that we talked about that a little bit in that last week about how Isis reminded us that they are one and the same, that these gods and goddesses, that when we're connecting with this God and goddess within us, we are connecting with our angels. It's not, it's there, we separate things, but really it's for our own benefit, if you will. And so I wanted to begin, the reason I wanted to also begin with this is because she's also holding a deer in her arms, and there is a raven and an owl, and the moon is behind her, and she's also got the stag. I see the stag antlers. And so one of these symbols is the deer is her power animal. Well, the deer is also my power animal. And so, and what's interesting is the deer is also depicted in a lot of it's actually on the menorah.
Yeah.
It's on the menorah. It's in every Hebrew prayer book I've opened so far, I think has the deer in it. And I'm not really sure of the significance. Do you? So it was, maybe that's, if you guys know any the significance to the tie in that, but so I found that very interesting too. And I took a picture a couple of days ago of two, I don't know what kind of birds they are, but they looked like ravens. They were black birds, and somebody had set out a little thing of water outside the store in the mall, actually, so they could drink water. And I was watching these two, and I took a couple of photos of it. And they were like having this conversation, but they were like, it was hard to explain. And I realized in that moment that they were there for me, that there was a message for me there. And so it was very interesting how I was able to, it was just how if we're just listening and watching, we realize that everything is a message for us. And I got a lot of information downloaded in those few minutes watching, and they were only there for a couple of minutes and then they flew away. And also the owl reminds us too of the higher wisdom. And so we talked about that a little bit last week too, about owls. And I also have our owl feather calligraphy pens. And so even something like that, literally touching bird feathers and finding them feels so, and that's, I mean, he and I, white feathers, white magic. We've always known that these symbols are symbols from our angels and our guides to show us whatever it is that we need to know in that moment, or to remind us something. I wanted to start out by this, because this deck, I wanted to once again read the beginning of the inside of the box for you guys, because it sort of sets the intention for the whole reading, if you will. And it says, I set the intention that whatever is gained from the lessons learned from this tool will be dedicated to the growth of all beings in all places. Guardians of the four corners, mother in the earth, father in the sky, angels, ancestors, sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. And that's why I wanted to read that. And I really try to read that every time I pull this out, because I feel that it really sets the tone for all of this, and for the day, and for remembering that everything we think and we do and we believe and what we put out there affects everyone. And I know that many of us, especially empaths and telepaths, when we say telepath, you can hear and feel things from the collective. And I feel that many of us are feeling the energy of the collective, and we're really becoming acutely aware of our power to change the frequency of the collective. And how many people are out there saying, you guys, don't buy into the fear. The fear is the fuel. The fear is the fuel. And even AJ and I talked this morning about fear, and how how fear is the one thing that prevents us from doing anything and everything. Everything we don't do that we are excited about doing, we don't do because we're afraid for some reason. So I just wanted to see if there was anybody else out there. Oh, Stefan. Sorry, Stefan. Hi, Stefan. I'm letting you in. Welcome, Stefan. And so, when you want to add anything to that, I'm shuffling the cards right now.
Just another reminder about the idea that dressing up is just giving another permission slip to invite those energies in. So when you have the intention of dressing up to your favorite character, god, goddess, superhero, doesn't matter, that you're inviting that energy in to connect with those kinds of energies. And just like the box set on the card, that we invite these things in to help and to assist with us and to make a connection that maybe we wouldn't have had otherwise.
Exactly. That is very true. And I've discovered it, especially, well, even today, I've been feeling a little odd in the collective energy. And I can't even describe how I was feeling. I just wasn't feeling well. And I slept a long time. But yet, even like Dave said, you know, once you put the dress on, because it changes, it puts you in this different vibration where it almost makes you feel as if it reminds you that you are the superhero in your life and that you really are the one in control. You really are the one in control. And it reminds you that when you step into that, you have the power. I love to laugh. I was just thinking about my kids when they were growing up with Masters of the Universe. Seriously, you guys? Masters of the Universe? Come on. If that's not a permission slip, I don't know what is. That we are masters of our own universe. So all of a sudden I'm hearing light languages. So I think with the intention while I'm shuffling this deck is that I'm hearing messages coming through. And of course, I'm feeling the energy of Diana very strongly. And I also wanted to mention too that something that in my own personal experience with Diana and even Princess Diana, our princess that has transitioned, her energy has been so strong with me, well, all along while she was alive and after her transition, but especially this last couple of weeks. And this whole idea of Diana, and they've reminded me that these are soul families. These are, it's like the same soul themes, and how Princess Diana was all about seeing you in your true light, of setting aside poverty and sickness and loving everyone for who they were and not being afraid to touch people that were not well, not being afraid to go into these places that were supposedly fearful and dangerous. And yet she had no fear. All she had was love. Love, that is all. And it also reminded me that royalty and these things that we know that we are doesn't make us superior. It makes us humble, because you realize you've got this power and this ability to change things on a global scale. And if you are not sharing all that you are, then you're not playing the part that you came to play. You're not using you're cutting your puzzle piece to fit instead of allowing your puzzle piece to show itself what it is and allowing it to fit. And I'm not even sure if that makes sense. And I've actually done videos about that where my guides have talked about that specific thing, about puzzles and puzzle pieces and seeing the bigger picture once it's finished, and how important each piece is. And if a piece, How much don't we all know if you have one piece missing from a jigsaw puzzle, the things like garbage, you're like, oh, well, you know, it's missing a piece. I'm not going to, you know, who wants to keep a puzzle that has pieces missing? So that's kind of what happens with us with all of this multidimensionality. We're putting our own soul puzzle pieces together and finding out who we are. Oracle, wait for important information. And look, she's burning incense. Wait for important information. And I feel like this is directly related to what we have been taught with the state of what's going on right now. We're waiting for important information from our guides, and we're waiting for important information to reveal itself from regarding this whole circumstance. So, and I see she's got her eyes closed. She's in prayer. And I feel as if she really is listening. She's listening for more important information from her guides. And funny you mentioned incense, because it literally said in our research that incense in one of the, I think, was it a biblical reference? And it said it literally is the connection to God.
That the incense comes before prayer.
Yes, there you go. Look at her, that the incense comes before prayer. You know, this is really funny, you guys, too, because when I was shuffling the other deck earlier, where is it? Oh,
Do I need to pick up stuff?
no, I don't think so. I was looking to see, I had one turned over because, oh, I remember now. It's in my crystal book, I believe, which is right here. I can pick it up. Sorry, guys. Yes. Okay. So when I was gathering, as I do for these hangouts, as I was gathering objects and things, and they told me to put my moonstone on. The funny thing is the moonstone, the card in my crystal book, and this is the Crystal Ally Cards Evolution Edition, guys, Evolution, cycles. So here we are, first day of spring, cycles, changing cycles. First day of autumn, changing cycles. We are all changing an entire cycle of a global system right now. And the moonstone is about cycles. And if you see it right now, and I've also been hearing about, and this is really interesting, if you guys have been watching me for a little while, I can't remember if it was the Wednesday hangouts that we did, or if it was, I can't remember when we talked about it, but I remember saying that I was receiving messages, and this goes back to the autumn equinox, and that they said to me back then, and I believe I did videos back then about it, that between this equinox and the spring, there was going to be great change, that there was something catalytic that was going to happen between that and now, between that equinox and this one. And I didn't even think about it, you guys, until today. Didn't even think about the idea that, oh, wait, look at what's going on in the world. What's happening? And it's the spring equinox. So, and there's been other information I've been receiving about children being born at a different specific time of year, and when they were conceived and when they're going to be born. So all of that information's swimming around waiting to be shared. So there's more information, as she said, waiting for more information. We're all waiting for more information about what is the divine. Why have we, as a collective consciousness, divinely, and I say divinely because there is a higher purpose to all of this, why have we divinely created this? And that it was interesting that the cycles of the moonstone, which I'll really quick, the moonstone is for the chakras, the third eye and the crown chakra. I move through the cycles of my life with joy and acceptance. I'm hearing that word again, acceptance. How do we accept what's happening right now as a catalyst for great change that is going to do something for the human race that has never been done before. And you guys and all of us get to be a part of it. And you did it on purpose. You wanted to be here right now. You wanted to be a part of this and be a part of this catalytic change. The moonstone is a form of mineral feldspar. Okay, this is freaking me out right now too. Is a mineral feldspar. It is usually gray to white stone, though it also can be found less frequently in yellow to peach colors as well. Moonstone is known for its beauty, chatoyancy, which creates a cat's eye. Oh my gosh. So much cat energy, you guys, right now, and feline, Lyran energy has been going on with me. I just told him about this cat stuff. I'm telling you, I don't know what is going on with the cats and the Lyran. And so that's a whole nother thing, which surprises me right now. Cat's eye effects as bands of light move across its surface. Moonstone, oh my God. Moonstone has historically been associated with the moon and with the divine feminine because of its ability to enhance intuitive and psychic abilities. Well, guys, now we know why we were supposed to talk about the moonstone today.
Will wanted to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Will. Go ahead.
It's just I'm speechless. I don't know. You've hit so many topics, and I'm just sitting here going, okay, whenever, just the Lyrans, just yes, the Lyran energy is off the charts. So I don't know how much you want me to speak now.
And Beverly says the dragon energy is back in the skies. Oh my God, you guys, you're not gonna believe this. I was told to pull my dragon cards today. No kidding. Go ahead, Will. And I have another card I got to show you guys. So go ahead.
No, go with the card. Okay, the card's important.
Really funny because right after I pulled the moonstone card, another card fell out right behind it. It's fulgurite, which I don't have my fulgurite with me right now, but you guys, the fulgurite stands for prayer. And isn't it everybody right now kind of like, everyone I talk to now is like praying. Everybody's praying for what we want it to be. And so I found it very fascinating that the prayer card would come out, and the chakras for fulgurite, all of them. Affirmation, I surrender my being and life to the higher wisdom and the energy of the divine. That is the message from fulgurite. So without actually reading its properties, I don't think I need to. So I just found that very, very synchronistic. Yeah, go ahead. So yeah, is there anything that you want to add to that? And I see this light coming out of the top of it. Yeah, and I had a feeling, see if you guys could see the light, actually like a light beam coming out of it. A light beam. Yeah, just like our light beam out here.
Oh yeah.
That's really funny. Dave used to take
sort of like incense.
Oh, it does. It actually does look like the smoke from the incense too. Look.
Fulgurite is created by lightning strikes in the sand.
I did not know that. Thank you, Will. Seriously, did not know that.
So that's why it affects all the chakras, because it's like the lightning strike coming straight down and aligning everything instantaneously.
Here, what does it say? Go ahead and read it.
In the intense energy of the lightning strike, the earthly materials such as sand are melted and reform into tubes that take on the shape of a lightning bolt. The resulting fulgurite carries an imprint of the incredible energy of the lightning from which they were formed.
Good job. Oh my God. See, you guys, that's how I feel like the whole earth is being hit by lightning. Like we've got this glowing atmosphere, because, and even my angels and guides are saying, you guys, if you could see how you're glowing, the whole earth is glowing right now because of all of you being in this state of prayer. And so if we can see it not as a state of chaos, but if we can see this as a state of opportunity for prayer and to create, to remember that we are divine gods and goddesses, and that we can really change we can affect the energy of the entire consciousness. So I think that this is pretty profound. Also to realize once again, oh, and what's today's date? Let's see. So today's the 20th. Oh, we're at 20. Oh, so we're on 3/20/2020, you guys. So we've got once again the 222 energy. So of the 220, and then so let's see, 3, 6, 8, 10. So we've got this 5. Excuse me, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got this completion cycle, number 9, the completion cycle, and I think the sacred circuit for number 9 is receive. So isn't it interesting how we would be in I feel like we're all in this state of receiving more information, higher information, that this is giving us, this whole idea is giving us an opportunity to see the higher dimensional energy that we're capable of, and to, I mean, how many of us know, have said the power of prayer? So whether you call it intention, whether you call it prayer, I don't think it really matters if it's something you're sending from your heart, and something that in an energy that you prefer the world to be, then that within itself, that power of intention has the potential for great change. I was talking about feng shui and how I practiced feng shui for so long. And then when I realized once I found light languages and channelers and Abraham, and you start to realize, okay, it's just about intention. It's about focusing your energy and taking an object, a permission slip, an artifact, or anything at all, just an object, and placing it with a specific intention, a specific place in your home to create a specific physical outcome. Well, that's no different than what we're doing with meditation, with prayer, with crystals, with cards. We're connecting with our angels, our ancestors, our animal guides. All of this is giving us all the opportunity to realize the power that we have within us and the power that we have to change. All the systems that were not working. And even Bashar, for those of you who are familiar with me and my channel, I originally, when I began finding all this information, and I found a lot of different channelers and related with several of them, and Bashar was one of them. They are our ancestors. They are our children. They are our families upline. And so I began to realize that it wasn't that he was necessarily teaching us. He was reminding us what we have taught them. If they are our children, we are their ancestors, then we're the ones teaching them. So if everything's happening now, who's teaching who? And so we have to remember that if everything's happening now and we are their parents, well, think about it. Who's teaching who? So am I being taught, or am I being reminded? And my guide said to me one day, and which was pretty humbling. And they said to me one day, you have to realize something. You're not learning from them. You taught them. Well, that was a pretty incredible thing to feel, in that, to remind ourselves that it's not about ego. It's not about, oh, I did. It's about, oh my God, we did that. We're the ones who are teaching them, and they're reminding us, and they are our children's children. And now they're telling us, you guys have the opportunity to connect with each other and all that is, and all of us in a different way than you ever have before. And I hear so many things at once. I'm trying to differentiate what they're saying. And a lot of times then it just comes out in light language because I can't articulate what it is that they want to say. I was trying to read the, oh, hey, Will. Nia vaso no bashe e la casa vaso maniana vela tore shani lara kubayano no vertore no dotoke. Pleasho no vesesa sementara vasho no ni marakota vesho no te se vaso mi kiara tema la sa eto malu malia shamatera ki tabashuna te velato. Ki malu malako ba isha nambato is vaso na pe ela savashote. Ki mano yamaraka te vasho no pe la no malakota vehana. La porco se samatera kiti imalemata da yeshanatea. Subusuma tungo ashashuma anuma ate so untu shi inanina otoku mu umaya na ita ya no maaloko te besu mu una me ele una elokoma ate sibusuma aloko ashe shamatea na nama adakela. It's as if they're showing me miatove all of the archetypes, like I'm hearing all of like our Greek gods and goddesses, and Roman, all of that we have named and compartmentalized. It's as if I'm seeing their physical appearance. Here, because we invite them. Now I haven't seen, and I'm laughing right now because I'm hearing, oh, what is his name? The hammer.
Oh, Thor.
Thor's hammer. So I'm hearing Thor right now and I'm laughing because I've never seen the movie. And yet I'm laughing because just the little bits and pieces that I've seen, and that he's just like depicted as a regular beer drinking guy who, and so it's like I'm here, it's like I'm seeing that they're just regular people, like, you guys are just regular people, but you're gods and goddesses. It's like, just, and so, and now I really want to see the movie because I haven't seen it. So, so we actually, if you want to get it, we have a replica of Thor's hammer. so I don't know. It's just kind of that idea that, a miniature one. Yes, a miniature one. So, but that idea of that, even they're bringing it to my attention because they're reminding me and reminding us that, we're just like regular people, but we're all like superheroes, there you go. And so, but it's really, and it's actually really, it actually feels kind of heavy, but yeah, so the idea is to utilize I even love the scrolling, the scrolls on here, and actually on my bow here too. Writing. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, to show those guys, to show everybody too, the writing on there. So it's very interesting too how the images on the bow here. It's actually is this 20? It's hard to see from the side, but it almost looks like DNA strands, and so it's very interesting how all of this is like to wake us up. They're all a little alarm clocks. Excuse me. So yeah, does anybody want to comment on any of this stuff right now so far? I want to, oh, thanks, Dave. Oh, sorry. I just want to let you guys know on my website, on the blog page, the date on the blog is the 13th from last week, but I just copied it and put the link for today. The Zoom link is in that one. So if you're looking for one from the 20th, sorry, I didn't have time to create a whole new one. I just updated the last one. So if you're looking for it, it is under the March 3rd. It says the 13th, but it's actually the link to jump in for the Zoom room is in that one. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So in case you're looking, Beverly, to get in. So if anybody has any other questions on how to get in, just let me know. So it's in there. For some reason, it didn't, I don't know, it didn't paste it as a link properly or something. So if you have any trouble, let us know and we'll send it out to you. And I am trying to get more, or in the process of not trying, I'm in the process of getting a little bit more automated too, so I can send you guys, you know, links directly from the website and stuff. So it's a little easier for you guys, you know, for you to find how to come in and stuff. So ze basho no belahana ba lokobiata fasho no tebe intia sabasomala le vala kolamba taesha ni bala kumbaya ta peseta viena marakota vesha apahana ti tuvayama de velopaya na seta diana malakota vesha no te ila katsiva soma savasho no tebe malako teba uta alaki samasoma tebe shino pinama la barkote veshe shima tobiana ni atobiyama alakateve sopa di ki Somosomia tabeshe na baleano no malakota veshoka ka intervia somentera ku temeyata. I wanted to say that I've been receiving a lot of information from the avian collectives as well, and the blue avian specifically, and because they have been aiding us for a very long time, and they're at our assistance and aid right now. They are speaking to many of us through the avians, through the birds. They've always spoken to me that way as well, in addition to telepathic messages. And we associate birds, again, I was reiterating about the feathers thing, but we associate birds also with the cycles of our, you know, of our earth cycles. And so there's different birds that sing at different times, whether it's spring or fall or winter or summer, depending on where you live. Different ones migrate at different times. So this is also part of the cycles. This is also part of understanding how, what are they trying to show me? How everything is a continuous cycle, and the feathers themselves, and we associate gods, goddesses, angels, messages from higher source through feathers. And I have been finding a lot more lately as and if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you'll see I've had a collection of feathers for a really long time. You'll see them in the background of many of my videos. I talk about feathers a lot. We've talked about feathers a lot. There's something also about keeping them near you, collecting them, there's something that connects us with that free spirit within us, that idea that we can fly, that we can, we were talking also about Mercury, Artemis. Artemis is also Diana, but we were also talking about Mercury, and Mercury being the messenger, and how Hermes, and how that today, and Hermes is depicted with wings, which we didn't get to do, but Dave was going to put wings on his head. That idea of Mercury, the messenger, and we are changing how we communicate with each other. And when we think about birds and bird song, how they communicate with each other, and how we can hear a bird and know that there's a message there for us. And so a lot of that idea of feathers, the more feathers I feel that I found around me and wearing them, and particular ones too, like where's my peacock feather, for example. I've got a lot of peacock feathers around now. That idea of the peacock and becoming our full colors and strutting our stuff, and the wisdom of the owl, the wisdom of the ancient wisdom of the raven feathers. So all of these things, you guys are all part of all of this. That's why I was like, oh, I forgot my feathers. You know, I had to put my feathers on because I was like, oh, it was important to me. Where are my feathers? Will's laughing because I was doing it before we went live. I'm like, where's my feathers? So, because it's important to me. It sounds silly, but it's important. Every single day, we bless the day. Dave blesses the day. How thanks for his consciousness being returned to him. How grateful he is to spend another day with me, and how so reverence, this idea of waking up every day and intentionally, before any other thought enters your mind, being mindful, being intentional. How do you want your, before you even start thinking about anything else, and he'll even tell me, even if he wakes up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m, he still says it immediately, even after midnight. If it's after midnight, I can't wait to spend the day with you. So I can't wait to spend another day with you. I'm grateful for my consciousness being returned to me. And all of these things that we, as soon as we open our eyes, we let our minds run amok with everything we don't want.
That reminds me about the idea of why we might wake up early in the morning.
Yes. Oh my God. That was a whole nother thing. How did that whole thing start? Because we've been waking up at weird hours, and I've been waking up at weird hours, and I'm getting like cranky because I'm so tired. And was it someone had done a post about it? Oh, that's right. I haven't listened to readings for myself in a long time. You know, I'm a Sagittarian. I just happened to be guided one day to listen to this gal. I really love her. Jove Tarot, Jove. Love her, love her, love her. And so I was listening to her reading, and all of us, there was this message about, and so many, oh no, I'm sorry. I love her. So anyway, but it wasn't her, it was Jamie Butler. Excuse me. Jamie Butler. She channeled Eric for a long time. You guys can look her up. I can put her link if you guys want to find her. Love her. Jamie Butler is a medium, and she woke up in the middle of the night. Excuse me, it was about 5 a.m, excuse me. And she said her guides told her, and she did not want to get up. She was tired, but she got up, you know, washed her face, and she said, and she was told to do a video. And her guides had said to her, it's because you've got work to do. Don't go back to sleep. It's because this is a good time to do your work. But specifically what she was saying also is that part of the work that she does, and I think she said even before she gets out of bed, was she was talking about how she immediately thinks about the people in her home, her children sleeping, the man beside her, and how she runs a filter through their energy while they're sleeping. Literally taking how did she explain? She almost like a sieve, if you will, like sand. And she says, and I filter them. And she says, and I can feel if I need to do it once or more than once. She says, and I just sort of run it through their energy. And she says, but the point is that she realized that many of us are being woken up early in the morning because we have work to do. And there's a frequency that's involved that's not involved at any other time of day, and especially when you first wake up. But the point is that many of us are waking up early, and even my guides told me, which was so funny because I had been so cranky about waking up early and not getting enough sleep. And it was very funny how she had done it so impromptu, and I had been complaining about waking up early. And then even my guides said to me, and for a while it's been like 5:55, or this morning it was like 4:04. Now I didn't stay up today. I tried, but I didn't. But the point is they said to me, instead of being upset about it, you need to realize that there's work to be done during that time. And it doesn't mean you need to be up and doing anything. This kind of work.
So when we talk about work being done, I think, and we're talking about setting intentions for the day, sometimes the society that we live in today, especially here in America, there are things going on sometimes early in the morning, and more on a collective basis, but also government officials and local
yes, that's
things
right.
going on. I mean, truck drivers are up early on the roads. So we might be awoken early in the morning because we need to state our intentions of love and peace and harmony and health and all those things before all these crazy things start to happen around us, because we don't want those crazy things to happen. We want
Exactly.
ease and grace and health and love and happiness and all the things that we want. And what if we're just being woken up to do our work, and that really means set the stage for the day, for the collective.
And funny that you said that, because one of the things that they said to me about that was, which I think I'd mentioned to Dave, was if we're all doing that all over the world, every single hour that somebody's waking up, if they're doing that intentionally, imagine what that does to the global frequency. If every one of us are doing that, no matter where we are in the world. And greetings to Germany. Hi, thanks for joining us. I was just checking out, I've got my phone in front of me, so I was checking out the messages from you guys. I just wanted to say hi from Germany. Thank you for being here. So he was saying always, I think it's a he, sorry if you're she, always going out with crystals, spontaneous, yes, spontaneous work. I love it. Every nanosecond is light work. Every nanosecond is light work. I love that. And so that so it did put things in a much different light for me. It put things in a different perspective for me, in that if we are all doing that, imagine the impact. And when we talk about prayer and the power of prayer, imagine the impact if before, when we wake up, we didn't start thinking about this and that and what's going on. And I've been my guys have been talking about this in my videos for a few years now, but this is a little bit different because what's going on right now, in that how can we take what's going on now, and all these people that are home from work now and working from home, and we're not supposed to touch each other, and there's all of these ripple effects that we're starting to see. Now it's affecting the banks. Now it's all these places are closing. We went to go eat yesterday, and she says, look at the sign. You can't eat inside the restaurant anymore. It's takeout only. You know,
I don't want that.
We don't want that. So
I want to eat in the restaurant.
And so all of this stuff, and then we can get into the realities of the efficacy of all of these things. But the point is that the more we buy into that and perpetuate that, instead of saying, that's not what I want to be able to eat in the restaurant. I want, we talk about what's wrong, but we don't talk about what we want. And we also don't talk about what's right. And we also don't talk about the potential. If we look back over time, all of the greatest change has come from what we would consider the most devastating circumstances. And so if we can look at it that from a different light, and then again, back to circling around, how do we use light languages for that? How do we use intention? How do we use card readings for each other? I'm noticing a lot of people out, and I haven't been spending a lot of time on social media, but every time I go out there and even this week, I was guided to post a card on Facebook. I haven't done that in a long time, because people need to communicate with each other. So now more people are posting things. They're posting positive things. They're posting what they do want, not what we don't want. And the more that we all do that collectively, it matters. When I say it matters, it means your gods and goddesses, what you think becomes a thing. What you think becomes matter, physical matter. So I've even had some weird stuff happening in my life. And I think, well, how could, why would I let something like that happen? Why would I do such a dumb thing? Why would I? And then even my guides are saying to me, wait for more information, because your mind can't see the reason for that thing that you think is so inconvenient right now, or irritating, or, that you can't see the orchestration that goes on because you did that one thing, and what you think is so stupid. And like, how could I, and so they're trying to show me this chain of events that happens, and I'm like, well, how does that happen? Why would I orchestrate that? Who orchestrated that? Was it me? Was it my higher mind? Who does this? you. I know. Will's mine, you. And that's when I say, I did that. I did this. Why did I do this? And that's when they say, wait for more information. You don't have all the information yet. You think by thinking it. He tells me that all the time. Stop thinking. You know, you think by thinking it, it's going to change it, but that's not really how this works. And so, okay, talk about the difference between intention and thinking. Because a lot of us think that what we think is our intention, but that's not always really the case, is it? We can intend something without thinking it. We can think about a negative, but we're really intending something different. So,
well, yeah, of course, your intentions aren't necessarily what you're thinking or what you're saying. And, you know, as a language specialist, the language of light, where the intention and the language that comes out in language of light seems to match a little bit better. A lot of times you might have an intention and you might have some thoughts and you might say things, but when you really think about what you're saying, it doesn't really reflect what you really want.
Exactly. Very good.
And
well put.
thank you.
That's exactly true. That's exactly true. And I guess somebody needed to hear that, because I say things, sometimes we think what we think is our intention, but sometimes those aren't always in line with each other.
And I guess it's also good to note that we never really know what we want, and we think we do.
Yes.
So you think when you're using your brain to come up with these ideas of things that you want, it's most of the time better to disconnect the brain and just think in more general terms and allow the good things to come and recognize when they come.
Recognizing when they come is another thing. And I've said that a couple times this week too, that I was reminded by my guides. Remember when you were asking for what you have now? Remember when you were asking for that thing that you wanted so bad that you got now? What are you doing with it? Is it working for you? Is it not working for you? Did you really want it?
And of course, if you ask for something specific and you get it, you might find out that wasn't really
what you wanted, or better yet, it wasn't what you actually needed, but you thought that's what you needed because it's what you wanted. What we need isn't always what we want, guys. Ask for what you need, not for what you want. Yeah. Did you want to say something? Oh, but one of the cards. So you guys, one of the cards flipped over. The Dragon Oracle. I was seeing been a lot of dragon energy around you guys. Archetype, and we'll talk about this more in the future. But the dragon archetype energy, very strong right now. And even this morning, that was why I was guided to grab this deck. And actually, Dave bought this deck
for you.
For me. This morning I was feeling, so we're in Florida here in the United States. And so in Southern Florida near Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. And so all the way around us, of course, is water. All of a sudden this morning, I was seeing visions from a bird's eye point of view, underwater. What did I say? Large animals, large animals. And I am like, animals, and it's like animal wasn't quite right, you know. And so I'm thinking, is it whale? You know, because I'm thinking, boy, these are huge, you know, huge. And they're like, no, we're bigger than that. We're bigger than what? And I'm thinking, what could be bigger than a whale, you know? And all of a sudden I see like as if I'm seeing the shadows, you know how when you see sharks and stuff, it was like I could see the shadows of the shape of these things. And Dave says, what are you seeing, whales or dragons? And I was like, oh my God. And that's what I was seeing was dragon. I was seeing like, see, this is really weird because somehow I'm connecting these two ideas with the whale and the dragon, because the whale is the oversoul of the dolphin. The dolphin energy is Sirius energy, Andromedan energy, higher frequency energy. Yet we know how connected we are to dolphin. All of us.
Wait till Will sees the card, because it was just what he was talking about.
Oh, Oh my God. Oh my God, Will. It was just what I was talking about. Holy shit. I can't believe it. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, you guys. Oh my gosh.
Beep.
Okay, that's really, I didn't even look at the card. Oh my God. So this is this is a confirmation for me, and gold and white. This is a confirmation for me, you guys, and this is how this works. This confirms for me right now what I was hearing and seeing this morning is real. It's real for me. It's real. It's real. They're telling me this is my confirmation. And this is also a confirmation for me and Will and what we were talking about earlier today. I can't even believe it. Oh my God, look at her. White gold dragon from Lyra. Come on. White gold dragon from Lyra connects you to the highest Christ light. Develop your what does that say? Develop your what?
Chakra.
Your
causal
chakra.
Breathe in 9th dimensional Christ light.
Breathe in 9th dimensional Christ light. The white gold dragon from Lyra. Lyra. We were just talking about the Lyrans and Lyran energy and cats and felines. So it just goes to show you, you guys, dragons, and then the cat's eye we heard earlier with was it the moonstone? Mm-hmm. The cat's eye. And now Lyra. Lyra is technically, but see, I'm also hearing that's also, okay, you guys, wow, small-minded. Jeez. Brutal. God. They're like, well, that's a little small-minded if you think we're all feline. I'm like, oh, excuse me. Okay, point taken. So again, we try to categorize and label, but even our labels are they're very limited, you guys, very limited. So, and also I wanted to shout out, if you're watching, I wanted to say hi to Pam if she's watching, because she's a yogi, and all of you yoga masters out there. And, you know, I wanted to, talk about that for just a second too, about yoga and I'm thinking about my friend Zinnia. Hey, Zinnia, if you get to watch, hey girl. She's actually doing yoga classes for children now, and to teach them mindfulness and yoga. And we were told that yoga comes from the Lyrans. And so, yeah, so I guess I was just guided to, share that as well. And I was just looking at the back of this card, and it reminds me a little bit of the other fulgurite, in that we've got the dragon, see, going through the fire going through there. And so, I don't know, I was just kind of seeing that fire going through the spiral. And I'm also a double fire sign, and an earth sign, and Dave is all earth signs, like all 5, like all earth signs. So this fire and earth, and I've been hearing a lot about fire and ice. Something I've been hearing about fire and ice, and about the cycles of our planet, fire and ice. I don't know if that means a flip. I don't know if I'm hearing fire and ice, that there is I don't know if it's a coming together of fire and ice. I don't know if I'm feeling this hot and cold, heat and ice, deep heat and ice. And in volcanoes. And so all of this information comes through, and I don't necessarily know how to articulate it. I don't know how to put it together, but it's coming through. And so I can share it, because maybe somebody else might have something coming through similar that we may be able to, collaborate on. And now I'm finding out a lot of us, including in the chat, you guys talking about dragon energy. So I'm not the only one who's been feeling it. Many people are. So I was just checking to see, oh yes, you know what? Thank you for asking, because I was going to show, here it is right here. You are correct. It is a Diana Cooper deck, and I love her stuff, you guys. They asked in the chat. So yeah, if you guys want, I can, if I remember, I'll put the links in here, but it's the Dragon Oracle deck by Diana Cooper. And I love her stuff. And there's been a couple of decks, of other decks that that Dave's gotten me recently, that I really love this new So thank you for asking, because I do like to, let people know what decks I'm using in case I forget, so that you guys can go get them yourself. But I just can't believe that gold and white. I mean, how could you possibly, you cannot make this stuff up, you guys. Seriously, gold and white.
Can I jump in here?
Yes, please.
I got so much. No, keep showing that card.
Oh,
That
okay.
card is
Yeah, go
it is so relevant for this now, for this equinox, for this springtime, this rebirth period. Today's date is a 9 for a reason. This is the ultimate rebirth.
Yes, the ultimate.
So this white gold, Lyra, the Lyrans, when they incarnated out of the golden ray.
Oh, okay.
And so they chose in the golden ray not to experience separation from God. And the white ray is the combination of all the rays of God.
Sure, because it's a prism.
And Earth in our galaxy is incarnated through the white ray. But with the white ray, we also chose to experience the fullness of the dichotomy of contrast. And we have fallen so many times, but this wave of energy that just came in with this equinox is exactly represented by this golden white Lyran dragon. It is a fierce and powerful, enlightening, awakening energy. Like if you saw that golden white dragon,
I mean,
from
seriously,
Lyra,
yeah, if you actually saw it, yeah.
If you saw that sucker right in front of you, you would, whatever you think you don't believe, it just goes out the window. And when you can embody that in yourself and see, when you question, what is it that I believe doesn't exist and is impossible? And then when we start seeing it, maybe now we'll start to think about what is it that can exist and what can I do and what superpower, like you're talking about, can I bring out? They're going to talk forever, but if we ever get back,
I'm just shuffling while you're talking. So
yeah. If I've got blessings for each of the goddesses that you mentioned earlier, if you choose,
sure, go ahead.
Because I see there's also 2 other goddesses that to me are associated with today's date. We've got Ishtar, which is associated with the spring equinox.
Oh, okay.
And we have Inanna, who's also associated with the spring equinox. And to me, historians have lumped those 2 together, and historians have lumped Diana and Artemis together. I see them as 4 separate goddesses, and I respect them as 4 separate goddesses. And when you first mentioned, that's what we were talking about and giving honor to. It's just like light language just start pouring in. So if I may give 4 of those blessings, we'll start with Inanna, then Ishtar, then Diana. Okay, we're starting with Diana. Sorry. She goes,
She goes, no, I'm first today.
Yes. So to Diana. Anahi tiasha anahakutura sa arashashayata anahasi charko usahana chiarana hakati diarahana huso. Achanan hati tiarahatu charo sukachananiro. Arasai charna sa akaita arshahutono. Ahawa hanania chaaroku awatia. Chanana hasaya. Yanana hasaya kachara sananiro. And even though I got a translation, I'm getting that everybody got the translation in their heart. So, and then to Ishtar, who is most famous for the East. And the first card that you pulled that has the deer and the owl, the deer people are the people of the East. And the East is Atisa, I don't know, the rebirth, which is aligned with the spring equinox. So for Ishtar, and it's also Nowruz, the New Year, the Persian, and to me, the true New Year. I think, wow. So for Ishtar, Hakai Hina Hatasiyasha, Yana Hatuta Arwahasai, Hakanania Cha Arahatataria Koeta, Yana Hasitia Hanakuta, Inahasha Ayesasa Saukunonoro Husa, Ichaharanana Hatuturo, Kochana Uyawatatua. And then for Anana, Hatanini Arahasoku Cha Uruhusawaha, Ichaka Ananahatutursha, Yaku Unahatuta Arshahakatitia, Naha Hananiha Chaya, Shahananahutu Uruhusakawara Usha Shananaya, Yahanania, Yahanaya, Yahanania Hatura Kawadona. And now for Artemis. Ahi hananahia tatu to shawaho. Kanahia sa ata achana akuto urosona. Chaharsu uta akahania. Nahata arasaka. Nahata ansaka. Ahaya hakaya anahatututu sowa. Shahaina ha akanahasu cha arusa atakanano. Achaharasu nana akahawa to urasana. Cha'arahata ta'anahasa si shahawa ka uno uruhusono no urukunawa. Thank you. Namaste. Niyatakawa rusona.
Nihata ina ima inoa kahara hi tahara katariana ahara katariana ahara kataria vashanosa seseana ahara kitara vishano maleana ka omba haniana no apa ketereshe sebasoma ala keterekiana na malako vahe ni turuku sese sesia malakate vashon ni inanea toruku inana ni amarako bayana ni amarako tevisheseto ajaleando kimaina Ikiadoro somatere iha. Semusomaya tapishina miana malakoya namalakotoreva ku paate ta inta. Miana malakota besho sosapete timashono baleeta. Mianaita ikiashana seviana liapako ete bashana seviasa. Semusopatea samasoma e nana miana malakota besho soku. Mita inta semusomaniara kola pushono malakote beki samasote. I'm going to try to interpret Nyantikia. So as you were speaking, they were showing themselves to me, and they were saying that to remind us that even though we see them as gods, we are also seen as gods by others in the multiverse because of what we're doing here. And that we really don't understand the power of what we're doing. And that they're, and specifically Diana said to me, our guides are the same as your guides, that basically we are no different from you. We are no better than you. We Niki's seek wisdom from the same source as you. And and to remind us all that we are teachers of teachers, and that we are teaching them as we are taught. And as we remind ourselves and so they're showing me bring up rising wisdom. They're showing me rising wisdom from the water. That's what they're showing me. Rising wisdom from the water. Physical evidence. Sibo somate nia da tebo goi bariana nia sopoku shepiki, sibo sopokiana tebo marako vasha se, kayanto de abakuya, that we would recognize Zimosobetera Shaseki, me imitavishino banaki, the equality in all, tumba, the equality in all creation. Abosomostavishina debe commande of Sopake, Sepashino debe samate, Isama sopa, that everything can be seen from Mate. Two sides, but not just two. So Mosomayandavake Laha, Mitopaka, Sopashanape, Mr. Nanabalako, Debakote, Kesima Sopa Sepako, because one cannot exist without the other. Moshome Tebako, Tamianabako, Sepasomena, Sepasema Opa, Sevoso Ata, accepting, Gabosa Mate, Tafashanate, that which you can change. Samosopatera Kase, and saying, what you do wish to create. This is the opportunity to pay special attention to the energy and the intention of your words. Are you speaking what you desire or what you do not? And the weight, not the way that has. They even said, I know we sound like a broken record, but we wouldn't have to repeat it. We love you so much. You will discover the additional gold, treasure, buried, trying to see what they're showing, buried within the boa, your creation. It was very interesting too. The next dragon card that was pulled out was, oh, sorry, Will, did you want to say something? I'm sorry, I was like looking down and go ahead. Because I'm looking at this card going, oh my gosh. Go
I
ahead.
know. Yes, thank you. Besides me laughing and Wendy, I love you. I so love you, Wendy. And when you're interpreting that and you're speaking your light language, it is just magnificent to be in that essence. So thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, they were talking up a storm and it was beautiful. So the one thing that they reminded me that I didn't talk about with the white gold dragon, the Lyran dragon, is that this equinox is the return to God. This equinox is the return to love.
That makes a lot of sense when it's
the return to love. The
return to love.
Which is why that white gold light dragon has returned in this now. Because that was the intention of the white ray, is to go to the brink of dichotomy and to return to love and to return to the angelic realm that it is.
And that's exactly what they're saying is really a way to illuminate that consciousness within us, that light, that what we call the Christ consciousness, what we call that idea of And I'm hearing it again, 33, 30 de sebekelanto de shamatuni nanakote, sebasanatebeheshe senasate ete. And this, the next card that came up was the orange dragon, which is interesting because it also has white. I can't even tell what that is. And it's like it looks like it's bubbles, and then it's sitting on a stone wall, and it looks like it has ropes around it, as if I'm feeling like it had ropes around it, but it's saying that you're as free as your ropes are only as tight as you feel that they are, and that there's something that we're setting free right now.
It's holding like his hands out with energy coming
Oh,
up.
that's what it is. So I'm trying to describe what I'm showing here, you guys, but and it's sitting on a stone wall, which reminds me of the wall in Arkansas. And then it says, bring soul families and communities together. Okay, what is happening right now across the world, you guys? Oh my God, what were we even talking about all day? Bring soul families and communities together. If this isn't bringing communities together, I don't know what is. And I just told Dave, the whole education system is going to change. And I feel like there's going to be communities now where I want to say changing the education system, where there will be community schools, like different, like in homes, that people, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. And I was seeing visions of how this is going to manifest, and how it's going to change the whole system, how it's going to be a loving, comfortable environment, how it's going to be a more familial environment for learning instead of a cold school environment. It's going to be different. It's going to be very, very different. And all of this, and I was seeing literally schools within the community of people who are homeschooling other children who will be. And that's, I feel like this is how we're going to be migrating more to that idea of identifying the abilities and talents of these children, and enhancing and magnifying them, and teaching them right off the bat to be the puzzle piece they came to be. Instead of conforming to the systems that have been put in place, we're going to be changing the systems in order to more effectively teach our children. We're going to allow the children to teach us how to teach them. That's the teachers of the teachers. And spread belonging, warmth, and oneness. Bring people everywhere together. That's what's on this card. Now, if that is not what's happening right now, I don't know what is. And yeah, that sure looks like energy or something coming out of their hands.
Absolutely. And orange is the creation energy. It's the color of the sacral chakra. And the bindings are free, just like now. In this now, your bindings are free, and you are free to choose which way you will go on that bridge, on that wall. And in Arkansas, since you mentioned it, that wall, we did our daily intentions at that wall every day.
Yeah, we did.
Daily intentions are so, so, so important.
And what was the name of that place? So you can tell everybody where it's at, near Hot Springs. What was the name of that wall, the place we went?
Hickory Nut Ridge?
Hickory Nut Ridge. That's what I was thinking about, a Hickory Nut Ridge. So if any guys are in Arkansas or near there, or go there, or if you go to Hot Springs, or if you actually go to the Hot Springs or the Crystal Caves or anything, I'm just hearing that was something to be shared. So if you're there, there was a lot of us there that day, and we did a lot of amazing energy and blessings, and saw a lot of amazing things. And I've got videos of some of our adventures there. And so I feel like that energy was part of, everything's now, of course. So, and actually the retreat was called Beyond Belief. And so actually, all of this, I think, is beyond belief for all of us. Everything that's happening feels like it's beyond belief. So I just feel like that wall in that card is somehow reminding me about era and about creating a new a new way of life. I guess that's the way I'm hearing, creating a whole new way of life in this new age of Aquarius. So anyway, I was just, thank you for that, Will. That interjection, you know, because this is one of the reasons why we invite people to come in and share their light language, to share their perspectives, share their energy and their ideas and relics, because it all helps each of us connect to all these other aspects. So I wanted to see if there was any other, oh, Elena, is Elena here? Oh, hang on, girl. Is she there? Here she is. Okay, there you go. Hey, welcome. So I was just checking the chat real quick here too, you guys. Just checking your Professor Wolf. I love it. Oh, and you guys, last week, I swear I had so much fun reading the live comments last week. I need to go back and reiterate some of the last comments from last week, because you guys, they were so good. So I love you guys for chatting in the live chat here, because it's a lot of fun. And for all of you who aren't familiar, if you go to on YouTube, underneath the screen of us, it says live chat. There's a live chat button, and you can live chat with each other, whoever's watching. And the fun thing is later on, if you guys watch this video later, you can actually run through and watch the live chat as we, as we talk. So, so with that said, I was just reading through some of the comments. I love it. Just to see if there was any questions or anything. And so I just wanted to thank you guys. So Dahlia says in the 5D 12 chakra system, orange is the navel chakra above the sacral, the community chakra. Well, thank you for sharing that. See, so isn't it amazing how how all of this, how all of these synchronistic things come together when you guys share this stuff. So I didn't even realize that. So that actually plays perfectly into that idea of the community and what we've been talking about. So so thank you very much for sharing that. I love it. I'm just looking, holy smoke, I love it. And yeah, that's right, incense. And that was the other thing I started to say about our intentional for the day, is that's another thing that we do, is we light incense every morning, start our day with that. And I, on the altar here, if you guys can see behind me here a little bit, let's see if you can turn a little bit. I've got the altar up here, and we haven't talked about this a lot, but we will, acacia wood. And that we were reading about how all incense should be stored and lit on acacia wood. And that, I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but on that side, well, you can't, but there's a replica of the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant actually is made out of acacia wood covered in gold. So that's a whole nother story about trees and wood and the sacredness of that, and sacredness of trees, the types of trees, even that, a whole tree collective has its own different systems of information. And so acacia wood is something that has come into our attention. I've had some for a long time, and now we're incorporating more and more and more of it into our daily lives, dishes, silverware, seriously. Putting, keeping everything on the altar on acacia wood and burning incense on it. And so every day is an intentional beginning of starting our day of that. And so we light incense outside, and I light them inside and at the altar. And so setting the intentions for the day for the collective. So I just wanted to mention that as well for any of you who are interested in researching that a little bit. You might be interested in knowing a little bit more about that. So I just wanted to share that as well. So so Jove Tarot the other day, I was watching her, and she happened to take out a card in my reading from the Sacred Rebel deck. Now, this is a deck I haven't had very long. Again, another new edition. And this is by Alana Fairchild. So I just wanted to show everybody. And so it was very interesting that the card that she had pulled for me from the Sacred Rebel deck was very, very synchronistic for me as well. So I wanted to show you also the back of these cards, because they're so very multidimensional. And without getting into a lot of the details, there's leaves and DNA and galaxies and seashells, and there's a nest, a bird's nest of 3 blue eggs. And then there's feathers, and I know, oh, I wanted to show you guys something too that I forgot to mention. In the orange dragon, I'm sorry, which one was it? Was it the orange or the white one? Hang on. It was the, where did I see that? No, maybe it was in a different card. I apologize. I must have been looking at a different card, and I saw something that stood out to me that I was going to share with you guys, but I don't see it right now. So I guess it's not important. I thought it was in one of these, but it must be in a different dragon card. That's interesting. Anyway, I'll find it if it's necessary. So I wanted to kind of wrap up today. So we're kind of at 2 hours here. So so I wanted just to share the back of this card with you because I was very, very, oh my God, I don't believe this. So as synchronicity would have it, the queen of synchronicity, this is exactly the card that she pulled in my reading. I'm a Sagittarius for March. If you guys want to look at it, Jove Tarot. This is exactly the card that she pulled. So I guess I'm supposed to pull it for you guys too. Number 28, collaborative dreaming. She pulled this card for me, and we were just discussing collaborative dreams, about how we intentionally and unintentionally, but intentionally can collaborate our dreams, where we can meet in our dream world. This is the part of the next step, you guys. This is the part of the next step of communicating in a different way with each other, is collaborative dreaming. That many of you write to me and tell me you've dreamt of me. And the other day, people said, Dave and I were in their dreams, and people tell me I'm in their dreams. And actually, even here, we've been dreaming of each other. Each of us have been in each other's dreams here in the house. So very interesting how dream collaboration, I can't believe it, number 20, or collaborative dreaming, number 28, which equals 10. So 28 is also my birthday number 28. I was born on the 28th of the month. So, but it's very interesting because we were just talking about, even Dave and I were just talking about making an intention before we go to bed to meet in our dreams and to actually talk, be aware of it. And so this is an invitation and an opportunity. This is an invitation to all of you for collaborative dreaming. And we talk about the power of prayer and meeting each other in our dreams, and the intention of meeting each other in our dreams and remembering that we've been together and the work that we've been doing, and intentionally, when we go to sleep at night, you guys, we are our multidimensional state. When we wake up, we come back into physical reality and play the physical game. But when we're sleeping, we're in our multidimensional state already. So we are doing work together, and we're remembering that work we're doing together. So one of the things they wanted me to mention now is the collaborative dreaming, and that for all of us to intentionally remember the dreams we're having together. And thank you. Now I can see everybody. Hey, Allie. Hey, Elena. Hey, girl. Mwah. So Elena and I want to start getting together too and doing some more stuff. And she wants to get busy on her channel too. So, hey, girl, I'm glad you're here today. So collaborative dreaming. I know many of us have had that experience with each other, and it's happening more and more. The more telepathic and connected we become, the more of a community we become, the more we connect with our soul families, the more we will remember dreaming together and the work that we're doing together. So I wanted to reiterate that as well. And to remind each other to intentionally, when we go to sleep at night, to intentionally, how can we set the intention for collaborative work together, so that when we wake up in the middle of the night, or when we wake up in the morning, that we are remembering the work that we did together, and that we are putting forth that we're crystallizing it in the physical when we wake up, the work that we're doing at night, and to be more aware of that. So I wanted to mention that as well. So collaborative dreaming. And with the giving of today's number 9, number 27, which equals 9, receiving. So I'm actually, these two kind of go together, I'm being told, because look at the similarity between the two cards. When we are in meditation and in prayer, waiting for more information, important information, it says, we are receiving. Look at the receiving card, number 9. So today's date equals number 9. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
Covering them up.
I'm just trying to see the card. I see.
So interesting how we've got this one and then this one. Both of them appear to have some sort of incense or something in a bowl, and they're receiving. So we're waiting for important information, and guess what? We're receiving it. And apparently we must be receiving it in our dreams, because that's what I'm being told is that. And that in our dreams, we will also be given new ideas, how to connect with each other in new ways and create new communities with each other as a result of what we call this negative thing that's happening right now, which, how could we look at it a different way? Well, this is how, because it's going to show us our power. That's how. And that this is not just something in one country, but all countries and all humans are in some way, shape, or form being affected by it in one way or another. So I guess with that said, if there's any other blessings, comments, Elena, if you wanted to say something while you're still there, darling, thanks for stopping in and being with us today. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I thought it's going to be a little bit later, this hangout, so I'm really sorry I missed it, but
oh, that's okay. Yeah, we're still playing with the times. We're starting at, right now we're doing it at 1 o'clock, 1:11 Eastern time, and so that we can try to get, so it's not so late for people in Europe. We may do it a little later, we're not sure. So it's a little early, it's 2 hours earlier than we were on Wednesday, so we were hoping to get a few more people. So
yay.
So it would be so late for you guys.
Yeah, so thank you. What can I say? I'm psyched. I'm so excited about my inner world, because we are so isolated right now, and we get a lot of time to work inside, which is amazing, at least for me and for a lot of people. And how can we are accelerating this in our dreams. Yes, this is true. But most of all, what I can see right now is a big jump. It will take a few months, and it will be very interesting. But as we go out and as we meet people right now, it's so really, the energy is multiplied 10 times more. I don't know. You can see it so clearly right now. It's amazing, really amazing.
And when you said that, Elena, it reminded me that this was the card I was going to show you guys on the golden orange dragon. Expand your light for ascension, be a peaceful warrior, help those in need, remember your magnificence. And what you just said, Elena, about all of us being, say, forced indoors, within, we're being forced within to show ourselves. Thank you for saying that, to look within and spend this time effectively. And that's what my guides told me the other morning when I was waking up early again. They said, use your time effectively. Use it effectively, even if it means sitting quietly and just being peaceful and silent. That is being effective. But using it effectively and using it intentionally. And what you just said, Elena, reminded me of a message that they wanted me to show you guys. He's holding a feather. This dragon's holding a feather. There's a book here. There's pages flying all over from the book. What they're showing me is all of us, now that you're home, if you're home, if you have this opportunity, document what you're feeling, document what you're going through, document what information comes from your dreams, write it down. And I was just talking earlier in this hangout about having feathers and quill pens, and even having a quill pen changes your vibration and how you write and how it's a quiver.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have been seeing, I see this feather and the book and the pages, and they're saying to me, write down your experiences, write down your dreams, write down your messages. You're receiving telepathic information. And sometimes if we wait even a few minutes when we wake up, try to keep it by your bed if you can, or real close. Sometimes if we wait too long, we lose the information. So if you can,
Oh, yes.
write it down right away, even in the middle of the night, even if it's just a name, a word. So it doesn't matter, write it down. I'm hearing that all of us need to be writing down what's going on more, because this information, and my guides have been telling me this for a long time, because I've been writing journals for so many years, like 20 years or 30, whatever, but they've been telling me, and we've talked about this, about being old school and liking to write things down and making lists on paper instead of actually electronically.
Completely different.
About the physical print, and that by doing this, you guys, we're going to be documenting the ascension of a human species. There will be people who are going to read this stuff one day, who are going to be unearthing this information, just like we're unearthing information now from what we call ancient mystery information, that you guys, by documenting what's going on right now with all of you, even the simplest things, is going to be telling stories of what
it will last. It will last for a long time.
Yes, it's going to be a story that's going to be told, the story of the ascension of a human race. And that is what I'm being told, you guys, is to use that and use this time and energy effectively to really document what's going on.
Before I don't forget this while
ahead,
you're speaking, it's coming in my mind to tell everyone to remember they bought somehow they bought a beautiful piece of paper. They didn't know when they're going to use it. They put it somewhere. So dig up this beautiful pieces of paper you put somewhere for a good moment.
Special occasion.
Yeah, exactly. Find them out. And the pens, also the pen is very important, because we collect them, we don't use them. We collect them for a reason. So just find them and choose them now. This is the moment.
And I have beautiful journals that old ones that I've written in, new ones that I've been given as gifts, received as gifts, some beautiful journals from Dave that it makes a difference, you guys, the paper, the pen that you're writing in, the book that you're writing in. And it could be something from a dollar store. It does not need to be expensive, but dedication. And I even just told Dave that the other day, that I feel as if each one of my journals needs to have its own dedicated pen. And I know it sounded crazy, but it felt like each one deserves its own little story, its own pen and pencil, its own information. And so I'm feeling like this is a really important thing to tell you guys today, is even if it's just for you, your eyes only, or for you to remember. Sometimes I forget even what downloads and information I received from like last week, or yesterday or this morning. So that's part of what I'm hearing too, is that if we really believe, and are not believe, but understand and believe that we are new every now, we're not supposed to remember anything. You're always new now, write it down so that you can share it with either yourself or the collective, because even if you're writing it down and you're not saying it out loud or not sharing it publicly, you're still sharing it with the collective, all the collective, whether you believe you are or not. If you write it energetically, believe it or not, everybody can read it. Everybody, because it's accessible now to the whole collective. So thank you for saying that, Elena, because that really was the message I was looking for, and that was the card I was looking for. So thank you.
And let's not forget the 9 is the highest number. There is no more than 9. We are in the 9 circle. As Arcturian said, the 9 is the highest. Every combination you make with numbers comes to 9, and that's it.
Yes, and Bashar has even talked about the number 9 as being sacred, and and the 9 levels of consciousness, and there's a lot of things represented by 9s. And how many councils do we hear, you guys, about the councils of 9? And so it's a very prevalent number.
And there is such a good joke with 9, but I'm going to tell it some other time.
Well, if it's clean, you can tell it. Well, I think we're going to wrap up for today. And if anybody else has any comments or light language blessings or any blessings in any language, I'd like to share them all now. I wanted to thank all of you once again for being here today. I was reminded too to remind all of you that when I first started this journey, one of the first collectives that came to me were the Elohim and the emissaries of the Light Collective. And they wanted me to remind all of you too, that the emissaries of the Light Collective, as they presented themselves to me, and that they said, as I was a part of, that they really are representatives of all realms, all frequencies, all dimensions and densities, whose highest excitement it is to receive and send information about ascension, about beings going through ascension in general, but to assist the all collectives and when I say the emissaries of the light too, there's also other collectives involved as far as animal collectives and plant collectives and tree. There's all kinds of collectives involved in this, and they're all saying, we through you want to send our vibration, send our assistance, send our gratitude, and send information and light codes through the languages, but also that we're to remind you that we are receiving information from all of you and learning from you as well at the same time. So they wanted me to reiterate that we are always teachers of teachers, but we are also students and teachers always simultaneously. And if we remember that, it keeps us empowered yet humble at the same time. It reminds us that we don't know what we don't know, but what we know is important and should be shared, and that it's a part of the way we communicate to each other and telling stories and our stories. Everything is a story. We're all a story of source, and that we relish living stories, movies, books, all of these things are stories. We're
the learning process.
Relate.
This is the learning process. This is the whole thing, the journey. This is the thing that is picking us up, that we are going through the journey, and we're upgrading our knowledge and our understanding, and this is upgrading everything else around us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Nyasavasona te ilasoma se tabashe e te e namalako pliashona tabe hataraki I samasote ki abato da peshe samasome ki ala kosama sase todoku meshanante itaya isana se te inki intikia somosho la halako na me tabaki seboso pa ante sanase. And it is truly our and my intention that you feel community, that you feel peace in your hearts, a place, if this can offer a place to express yourselves, to share what your experiences are with the collective, to share whether it's light languages, whether it's your experiences out with all of these other things, whether it's things that you collect. Is it stones? Is it crystals? Is it something that means something to you? Why does it mean something to you? How do these ideas of archetype energies and gods and goddesses and relics and how do connecting with all of these help your life? How do they help our lives? How do they help us connect with the multidimensional aspects of ourselves? When we say multidimensional, that we are beings of beings of beings of beings of beings. And so we are the stories of source, and we are all being invited right now to connect with each other in ways we never have before. And we've talked a lot about this with light languages, of how it allows us to surpass the mind and speak directly from our souls and our hearts. And I think this We have to remember that just looking at each other's eyes, smiling at each other, you guys, is the language of light. It is the language of love. It is the language that speaks without words. And maybe not touching each other is a way to teach each other that there are more ways to communicate with each other than we believed were possible. And that physical touch, yes, is something we came to experience. And we also came to share the experience of physical touch and intimacy with all that is, because this is the only place where we can experience it this way. And there's a lot of other things that we want to bring into that as well in other webinars about physicality, physical touch. How does light language come into that? How does it enhance physical touch? How does it change our dreams? How does it help us connect with our other aspects of ourselves? How does it connect to each other on higher levels when we're speaking light languages to each other? So a lot of these things come into play. So lots of things we can talk about. Lots of things we're excited to talk about that we invite all of you guys to come and share. So just as we were doing on Wednesdays, please come and enjoy, speak your light languages. It's just more of an expansion of light languages and expressing ourselves. It's an expansion of the ability to bring in all of these other aspects, and how do they also relate to light language, and how do light languages relate to all of this, and how is it that we are discovering light languages being spoken in movies, and where did it come from, and where, you know, so all of these things all come into play. So is there anybody who'd like to have any last comments or blessings? Please do, and then we'll kind of go off the air and invite you guys all to join us again on Fridays and experience your God and Goddess within you, and take it out into the world and empower everyone else to see the light within themselves and the power that they have to change a whole global community. We are one global community. And I believe that this is the message that we're all moving toward. Go for it.
I would just jump in to say people to notice now that we have this 2 meters distance from each other. For some reason, this is like our aura distance. And when you're inside fully charged, when you're distanced from everyone else, people should just notice how their energy now affects the others around them. It's very interesting with the telepathy that we have, with the energy that we use to heal each other, everything. Now it's the time that we see the impact of the inner peace that comes outside and heals from a distance. This is very important, because before people were next to each other, pushing themselves, not really noticing the energy. Like the energy was really, really very chaotic. But now it comes in a very interesting order. And if everyone just makes a little notice of this communication from the side, it's amazing. This is a very good lesson that we are learning today.
Yes, it is. And thank you for reiterating that. We really can see this from a different perspective, and we're being invited to see all of this from a much, much higher perspective. And so thank you for bringing that up as well, because that's exactly what my guides have been telling me. And thanks to all of you for out there on YouTube for commenting. I'm kind of looking. I'm going to say hi to everybody, Angela and Beverly, and hey, Blue Star, good to see you. I hope you visit sometime soon. Hope we get to see you, and Angela and everybody. Daniel, hey Daniel, I wanted to say hi too to you and tell you that I did check out your check out the artwork on your site again. If it'll let you, feel free to post your Instagram artwork in the live chat if you like, so everybody else can see it too. Daniel's got a lot of really beautiful work out there, and he sent me a couple of his own pieces, which I think they're still in storage, that I've actually showed you guys here on my channel. So I also encourage all of you to do that too. If you've got something that you do, that you're out there doing in the world, please let us know about it. We love to let everybody else know about what you're doing. And I think, well, Reiki, I was gonna say Reiki with Will. Will's down here in Florida too. And are you actively doing Reiki, Reiki right now, Will?
Wow, am I unmuted? Okay, cool.
I mean, are you actually doing like, you know, Reiki sessions and things, or?
So doing distance Reiki, since we're practicing social distancing.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah.
Before we were doing social distancing, there were a whole bunch of precautions that I was taking with people on my table. But at this point, it's distant Reiki.
Okay, well, that's a good way to put it. I didn't really think about that, that if we're not allowed to touch each other, I guess I didn't think about that. But you know what, Reiki too, you guys, we don't have to touch to, and this brings up a good point, Will. I'm glad that you said that, because I was reminded about distance healing, that even in Reiki, a lot of people are not touched in Reiki. Some people don't want to be touched. And so, but the point is that Reiki works whether you're touching their skin or not. And so does distance healing. So again, remember everybody, you guys are gods and goddesses, and you can send distance healing to anything, anywhere, at any time. And even before you go to bed, send it in your dreams that the people that are awaking now while you're going to sleep, those are the things that we can do for each other energetically. So Reiki is nothing more than energetic life energy. It's just life energy. So we're just sending each other life energy. So, so thanks for bringing that up, Will, about distance healing, because it reminds us, just as Elena said too, that even if we can't touch each other, we can still send each other healing. And
another gift from this social distancing
yes,
concept is that it allows us to come up with more imaginative ways of doing the things that we otherwise would need to be physically in contact with. And if you could imagine it, you can do it. So perhaps we could come up with a lot more modalities and methods. And of course, it's cool to not have to go places to do things. So
exactly. Create it in your mind. Just build up the plan, make the blueprint, and then go for it.
if you could imagine
Test
it,
it out.
you've already created it.
oh, I love.
But being a free spirit requires a lot of discipline. Being pure requires a lot of discipline. So discipline your mind, train it. It's like almost like going to the fitness, to the gym. Just train your spirit, pray every day. And so on and so far. It's a disciplined plan. It's not just something that you do here and there. You have to start really being very punctual about it and to train.
You're absolutely right. And even Dave and I
Yeah.
talk about that
Yeah.
too. There are people who devote their lives all day long to doing nothing but that work, and the philosophy behind that work, and the effectiveness of it, and so forth. I wanted to also mention, thank you, in the comments here about fire and ice lead to transformation cycles, and like lava, first lava, then ice, either opposite. So it's interesting how, anyway, I was just feeling that fire and ice energy. And I was actually talking to Dave about fire and ice was it yesterday, I think. And then the next, one of the other comments was a white dragon of the Elven is called Ankh. Seriously? Like the Egyptian sign. Well, we've had a lot of interesting information being downloaded to us about the Ankh and how to use it and how to discuss the things that we've been learning about it. So very interesting that you brought that up. So that was another beautiful synchronicity, and the queen of synchronicity here, about that specific idea. So very, very interesting that you, that you brought that up. So thank you, Dahlia. Thank you. I do hope that it is uplifting, and that's the whole point. And, you know, I wanted to mention that to you guys too. As we close, I wanted to say that one of the things I've told many people when they've said, I wanted to come to the hangout, but I wasn't feeling very well, or I wasn't, well, let me tell you guys, I wasn't feeling very well today. And I even thought, should I even do this? Should I not? And of course, as my guide said, and as Dave would say, and as I've told many people, and I will tell all of you, when you're not feeling the best is when you need this the most. And that is the most important thing, that we can make excuses all day long for, I don't feel good, so I can't do this, or I can't intend, or I can't do this, I can't. No, it's that that is how you get in that frequency. That is how you get to feel better, is by doing this. And so, like Elena said, doing your work. This is part of doing your work, you guys, is stepping up and stepping out, getting out of your shell and coming to these kinds of gatherings, because this is how you master the ability to go out and do your own work. And so a lot of people want to do this publicly and are afraid. So that's another thing. Being in these hangouts helps all of us be brave. It helps you do it scared. It helps show you, just because you're afraid of something, that's your higher self showing you're excited about it. Try it. Just do it. And just like the old saying, just do it. So
yeah, just don't fly. Don't fly. We don't have wings still, but everything else, not requiring gravity, just do it.
So anyway, we could keep talking all day, but thank you all for being here. Nasavashote, Niato, Kodmasha. Is there anything else that you wanted to add, or anything else?
Well, I just wanted to mention also that there's a lot of things that we want to talk about. There are a lot of things that we plan to talk about, but as these things go, usually the day before or even the day of, we are guided to do different things.
Yes.
So we have lots of crystals that we want to show. We have lots of relics and items that we want to talk about. But apparently the order of the day will be what it is, and we're going to follow our guidance into what we're to talk about, and sometimes even how we're supposed to dress.
And that's true. And it does change. It does change. Sometimes, like you said, we can plan something yesterday and today it just all changes. So matter of fact, even what I'm wearing today was not what I was going to wear today. So I'm going to say goodbye as I kind of stand up. You guys can see me just a little, because you got to be able to see it. So
yeah, it's
step out of the way here just a little bit.
You put a new level to the hangouts.
So talk about being brave, you guys.
Yeah. I wonder what Jim will wear the next time.
So all of you, be brave, be daring, get your toys out, get your relics out, get your superhero stuff out. Hey, even if it's just a Mickey Mouse hat, or, it doesn't matter. It's all about being yourself, connecting with your multidimensionality, being fun, being childlike.
I have a sheet.
He's got just a sheet, sheet and t-shirt. So, it doesn't have to be a special costume. It can be anything. Pull some, you know what, ladies, all of that, and gents, all of that highfalutin stuff you want to wear when you want to go out and you never get the chance to wear it because you got nowhere to go to wear it. All these beautiful evening dresses and gowns, and don't save it for New Year's Eve or a special occasion or a wedding. Wear it here. This is what this is about. You know what? If you want to celebrate the bride and groom, dress up as a bride and groom. You want to celebrate being a pirate, you want to celebrate, it doesn't matter. The point is, it's about celebrating you and all the aspects of you, and who, like today, one day we're like, oh, we're going to do this on Friday, and then it completely goes out the window because all of a sudden I was guided to talk about Diana and honor Diana. And so then it was about, oh, let's, what would she wear? So that we look up Goddess Diana and see, well, what looks appropriate? And so here we have it. So that was the whole idea behind all of this.
Amazing.
So don't be shy, and come and show your peacock colors, show your feathers, strut your stuff, be yourself, and get into those Halloween boxes, get into those costumes, get into your stuff you never wear, and bring it here and be fun and just enjoy the God and Goddess within you. And it's not a requirement. This is not exclusive. This is open to everybody, but it just brings more fun to everybody. And it helps everybody give each other permission to just be more of all that you are. That's all that this is about. So thank you all. I think we're going to go now. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, Will. Thank you, everyone. All of you. This has been
Bye.
Bye from us.
Love you, and thank you all in the chat for everything. I'm so excited. I love to go back and read, so I invite all of you to go back and read the chat. Once you watch this later, read the live chat, and please do join us. We love you so much. Take good care, and we're going to go off live now. And if you guys want to hang out in the room, you can for here for just a minute. And I love you all, and we'll see you soon. Niasote ishanase tialako sinata liato kiama.